From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is the Midday Report on LALATE.
It's a big midday here on LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In this recording, we'll go over that $3.5 trillion recon that passed that pays viewers on average about $15,000. Cluster number one passed, including hazard pay. And now the add-on being proposed of $25,000. Hard cold cash. Cluster number two passed, including home repairs, and the proposed add-on of $250 billion for seniors. Cluster number three passed, including free internet, and the proposed third add-on of those monthly stimulus checks. Then we have incredible great news coming out across the board as today, another potential deal with Joe Manchin. Whoa, this is a second deal on top of the first one initially revealed. Then, more student loan debt forgiven. Wow, the latest details on this as well. And then, COLA raises 5 to 6%, but that is not the only raise you're going to get across the board. We're going to go back over to third stimulus that is now paying viewers big sums of money, $36,000. We'll be cutting back over to fifth stimulus as well. We got a huge show as we go into a new week with now a potential deal in the works for the recon. As Nancy Pelosi says, the recon must be done because it has to get done. Whoa, great big breaking news, new today, and it's all covered in this video. It's a big noon time, and it starts right now. Hey, good noon time, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful day, and I hope the weather is good where you are. It has been very cold at night here in Southern California and very hot during the day. Very peculiar weathering, but hope the weather is good where you are. Jump in the live chat and tell me where you're tuning in from. In this fourth stimulus check update, direct and live from Santa Monica, breaking news in this recording that you didn't hear yesterday. I'm going to get to it in a second. First, a $3.5 trillion package passed that will pay viewers this channel on average $15,000. Then a proposed add-on of that of $25,000, and a proposed add-on on top of that, $250 billion for seniors. And then a proposed MSC on top of that. We have cluster number three, checks for seniors. We have cluster number two, checks for also home repairs, and cluster number one, checks for hazard pay. We're going to go over all those details and more. But we're also going to turn to the big surprise that no one saw coming as a second, yes, you heard me right, second deal for the recon is now heating up. What is going on? I have all the latest details as a potential second deal with Joe Manchin is being hatched today. This is on top of the deal I revealed yesterday. Student loan debt forgiveness heating up. Boy, no one saw this one coming. This is a biggie. And then big money for COLA raises. And it's not your only raise. It's just the first one. I'm going to show you the second and third raise that's coming up after that. We got a big show with $36,000 that one viewer got, and you can get it as well. He got it this week. We got a big show, and it all starts right here, and this is LA. So subscribe. America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week. Financial news channel in America. Live in the morning like right now and taped in the afternoons. Coming up next is Afternoons LA at 1 o'clock. And I'm really happy for you. Excited as well. The 3 o'clock show, evenings, Afternoons LA, totally new today. The evenings LA, totally new at 5. And then we got shows at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11:30, 3, and 3:30. All about four stimulus. Every hour on the hour. So subscribe, like this video, and consider becoming a member. Let's cut right to this recon. Now remember, the recon is for everyone. It's for single individuals. It's for married couples, for seniors, for young people, for SSI and SSDI, for people with kids, people without kids. And it pays viewers on this channel about $15,000. As soon as it becomes law, I'm going to show you how to get this money. Let's go over the first cluster passed. Hazard pay. Hazard pay, baby. And also $4,000 of elder care. First, they got the earned income tax credit in there, broadened the eligibility, increasing the amount of money so those essential workers get more hazard pay money. They got $4,000 of elder care in there, up to $4,000 a year for young children's care as well. Then they got money in there for college students directly to them, to the university, and the Pell Grant made tax-free. And they got free money to repair your home. Wow. If you're in a low-income community, free money to repair the home. They got $51,000 of monthly stimulus checks in there as well, MSCs. The CTC, the child tax credit, broadened the eligibility, increasing the amount of money up to $300 every month, every year for up to 18 years per child. That's $51,000. They got money in there as well for bikes, cars, and trucks, all electric, all U.S. auto manufactured. First, up to 15% for the purchase price of a new electric car, $7,500 for the purchase of a new electric vehicle, a little bit more if it's for business use or if it's a truck. That is the first cluster of checks passed of this 3 clusters that pays viewers of this channel about $15,000. But now let's get ready for the first add-on. And the first proposed add-on to it is $25,000 of hard cold cash to you. The legislator proposing it, Maxine Waters, here from Southern California, here from Los Angeles, House member, proposing $25,000 to you for what? For purchase of your first home. Wow. How do I think they're going to get this done? I think during the escrow, they're going to give you $25,000 or give it directly to the seller in your name. Incredible details. $25,000, the first add-on to this 3 clusters. Let's cut to cluster number 2. And here we go. Home repairs and paid leave. Well, remember, these clusters, this RECON is just for life in general, not pandemic related, just life in general. And in the second cluster checks, lots of deliciousness. We got in there, paid family leave, paid medical leave. How much is this? Let's go over all the details. It is $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year. Split in half, $35,000 annual salary, that's $800 a week. Split in half. $15,000 annual salary, that would be $400 a week. Family leave, you have to stay home because your wife is pregnant. Medical leave, you have to stay home because your son broke his leg. They got child care programs in there. They got household tax credits in there. They got checks for seniors like dental, but more about that in the third cluster. They got pre-kindergarten, tuition-free community college, and then they got checks in there for the home. More checks in there for the home. This time, not just for low-income communities, rather for weatherizing your home. Definitely need to weatherize your home, especially if the moderate Democrats are on the roof. As I always say, keep the moderate Democrats out of the House, and wherever possible, keep the moderate Democrats out of the Senate. There you go. That's a second of 3 clusters of checks that paid the viewers of this channel about $15,000, but get ready for the second add-on. And this one is huge. The second add-on is $250 billion being proposed by the 61-year-old Democrat from Pennsylvania, Senator Bob Casey. This is for my seniors and for people on disability. Huge. So what does Bob Casey want to do? The way he sees it is the following. He sees a big problem with home health care. You can't afford it. So your son and daughter stays home from work, can't work, and then take care of you. Well, he's going to solve the problem. What is he going to do? Give $250 billion to states so the states can offer you a home health care provider totally free to you, and licensed, and so that way your son and daughter can go back to work if they wish and enter the workplace, alleviating workplace restraints and shortages of workers. There you go. Wow, incredible. And that brings us to the third and final cluster passed, and that has more checks for seniors and another world exclusive. But this one comes also from Bob Casey. Also listen to 2 key words in this third cluster because it's part of the breaking news today. And those key words are clean energy. Watch for those words. So, in this third cluster pass, free school meals for all checks, cheaper prescription medication checks, checks for farmers, checks for elections, checks for free internet. Here it is, clean energy checks. Remember that. And then checks for workers like independent contractors, checks for seniors like dental checks, vision checks, hearing care, and lowering eligibility age for Medicare, which brings us to a world exclusive. This channel exclusively learns that Bob Casey, again, the same 61-year-old Democrat from Pennsylvania, senator, is proposing in this third cluster to drop the eligibility age of Medicare from 65 to 60. Wow, incredible, great news. This third cluster has that two key words, clean energy. Why do I say listen to those two key words? Because in a second, I'm going to show you after the commercial break, or I'm going to show you in a second, actually, before the commercial break, that those clean energy checks are going to get removed, some of them, and that is big for you. And it's part of a Joe Manchin deal. Wow, that's come up in just a second. But in this third cluster is free internet. How will that free internet work? You just ask for the username and password. What's the username? It's Scarf Sale. And what's the password? Javita Late's on it. There you go. That's the username and password for the free internet. But now let's turn to the third add-on. I think you know what the third add-on is. We've done the first one, the free, the $25,000 for home purchase. We've done the second add-on, the $250 billion for my seniors. I think you know what the third add-on is. And that third add-on is deliciousness. It is MSC. We have not one, but three new developing details about the MSCs. First, we go into the weekend with Chuck Schumer's office again to another viewer confirming he's inserting that monthly stimulus check provision. He said that to Debbie Applegate last weekend, going into last weekend, he's inserting that monthly stimulus check provision. And he told it also to Donnie's wife the week before that he's inserting that monthly stimulus check provision as well. So it's been 3 consecutive weeks about that MSC. So what is the second part of great news about the MSC? Well, the second part of the great news is that clean energy, Why? You're going to see in a second that one of the breaking new details today is that one of the provisions in the third cluster checks concerns clean energy. And in those clean energy is a lot of clean energy checks. Not one, but a lot of clean energy checks. Joe Manchin is reportedly now being very vocal and saying what he wants removed to get the RECON done. Great for us to get it done. But he also said one of those clean energy checks has to come out. Great news. So the money doesn't come out of the RECON. It's just it can't go to clean energy. So guess who the clean check can go to? Our Energy. Bring that check over to Our Energy. Don't give it to the clean energy. Give it to Our Energy. Wow, this is great news. And of course, the final big great news is that incredible statement that came from the chief of staff to the number one person on the RECON, the number one senator, his chief of staff. If you don't know what a chief of staff means, it's the number one person underneath the senator's the senator himself. It's the head of his DC office. The chief of staff telling a viewer of this channel that this channel has now delivered 3 million calls of advocacy, but to not stop, to continue all this week, because this week is a critical week of advocacy. The message from the viewer describing the conversation. They now have in total between the congressional senator offices received more contacts of advocacy from the LA Purple Power than the number of signatures in the American petition. Wow. Everyone is amazed by the outpouring of touching stories from the LA viewers. Now they have more from LA what has been called than just what has been called a bunch of signatures from the American petition. Now they have a better understanding because of LA of how the Americans are trying to make it through the pandemic. They have heartbreaking stories from LA viewers, and they have the voice of the people across the nation in LA that has now become too loud to be ignored. Wow, wonderful. And then the final sentence is a special message directly to me and you. The final message of that on-air screen grab is the following. Please, LA, continue your encouragement for the continued advocacy as you, LA, are the professional voice of the people you have become, and continue until this becomes law. There you go. Thank you so much for that incredible message. And yes, got to push until we get this over the finish line. Second half of this video, we have breaking news as a second deal with Joe Manchin. This is on top of the deal I revealed to you yesterday and the one this morning on the Early Mornings LA. Totally brand new deal. It's huge. and it's incredible. Then we'll be cutting over to student loan debts. We got big money with one viewer getting $36,000. I'll show you how to get this as well. And we have COLA being your first raise, but it's not your only raise because you're going to get 2 other raises right after it under fifth stimulus. I got a lot coming up in a big breaking news show, and it's all here at noontime. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.lalate.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now at noontime LA, live from Santa Monica. Incredible, great news about your fourth stimulus check update of 2021. In the second half of this video, we got a lot coming up. And boy, am I excited, as a possible deal with Joe Manchin is unfolding. A second deal. Student loan debt forgiveness growing as more debt is forgiven. I'll explain the latest in this recording. Then we go back over to those COLA raises, and boy, it's not going to be your only raise. You're going to get 1, 2, 3 more. Whoa, what's going on? We have the latest details about third stimulus with your benefits going up direct from here in the coast of Santa Monica. It's been a crazy weather weekend where it's freezing at night and brutally hot during the day. But let's see what it does today. And then we go over the deal to get the RECON over the finish line, and what Nancy Pelosi said, we have to do the RECON because we must do the RECON. Wow, that's coming up. So with that, subscribe. A 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. Coming up next is the 1 o'clock afternoon show. This one video will automatically take you to the 1 o'clock afternoon show. Then the big afternoons LA show at 3 o'clock. Evenings LA, totally new tonight as well. And then we got shows at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11:30, 3 a.m. and 3:30, all about fourth stimulus. I'm very excited for you. And with that, subscribe, like this video, and consider becoming a member. Let's cut to the big surprise that the president delivered, and that big surprise was that student loan debt forgiveness. Student loan debt forgiveness had been forgiven by the president initially for people who were disabled after graduation. But this last week, the president added 2 more groups to the student loan debt forgiveness. Who are they? First, individuals who after graduation went to work in the nonprofit sector for 10 years. Your student loan debts have now been forgiven. Wow, incredible, great news. Then the big shocker that no one saw coming. This week, the president forgiving student loan debts for people who went into the public sector for 10 years after graduation. Your city, your county, your state, your federal government, if you went to work for them for 10 years after graduation, congratulations, your debts are forgiven. One viewer saw that congratulations live on air on Morning's Countdown on this channel. During the live chat, the viewer said, "Wait a second, LALATE. Are you in the live chat?" I said, "I am." The viewer said, "After graduation, for the last 20 years, I have been a prison guard in the federal prisons. Are my student loan debts forgiven?" I said, "Yes, sir, they are." The viewer learning the incredible story while watching this channel live on air. Incredible. Now, let's turn to the equally incredible details as the president is proposing to forgive $10,000 of student loan debt as well. That's still in the works. The Democrats wanted to be a little bit more. But also exciting is the possible deal with Joe Manchin. A second deal. Whoa. Yesterday I delivered the first deal. Today I'm delivering the second deal. Let's go over all the incredible details of this, starting with the first deal. We have a recon, and there's three parts of the recon that the moderate Democrats need changed. One, the price tag brought from 3.5 trillion down to something in the two. Easy. I'll explain to you how to do that. They're going to do that in a second. The second one is changing the prescription medication language for Kristen Sinema. The third one is changing the climate parts for Joe Manchin. Now, climate is not how's the weather today? Is it sunny or is it cold? Climate refers to carbon, electric vehicles, carbon dioxide, oxygen, fossil fuels, natural gas. That's what climate is. In this recon that's passed, 3.5 trillion, there's a lot of climate provisions in there. And what happened going into the weekend? What happened going into the weekend is I got word of a leaked story that was buried in one print media. And that leaked story was the following, that the president anchored a big deal with Joe Manchin in the middle of the week that no one knew. And what was it? There's a part of one of the clusters that has in there language about climate that the president said, you know what? Let's change the language on eligibility. Keep the provision in there. Just change the language so that Joe Manchin's biggest industries in his state can qualify to get this money. Whoa, what an easy, obvious way to do something. What's at issue is that Joe Manchin in his state, one of the biggest industries is fossil fuels. His biggest constituents, fossil fuels. His biggest voter base, fossil fuels. And those industries are not eligible for some of the money in the recon because the language was not written right. So the president saw the situation, said, let me change the language. So now Joe Manchin's industries in the state of West Virginia qualify for billions of dollars. Let's go over the details. The changes to the language of those clusters passed would allow coal and natural gas power plants to qualify to get billions of dollars from the recon, which includes fossil fuel providers in Joe Manchin's state of West Virginia. Whoa, that is wonderful. That was the first deal. Now let's go over the second deal. The second deal has three great parts to it. The first great part of it is that the moderate Democrats are telling us what we want. Remember, it was just a week ago that I read all those quotes on air where Bernie said, we don't know what they want. President saying, we don't know what they want. How can we get things done if they won't tell us what they want? The great news is now they're really saying what they want, which is great. It was a week ago that Bernie said, it's incumbent for the people to start telling us what they want. Now they're telling us. Number two, Joe Manchin told us now, or told them, that he wants a particular part of that clean energy in the third cluster removed. In that third cluster is a section of checks for clean energy. And one of the checks in clean energy, Joe Manchin doesn't want in there. So he said, take it out. They said, okay, deal, done, today. Biggie. This is a biggie because, again, this was what was holding up Joe Manchin from coming on board. They got him to say what he didn't like, and they're taking it out. And yes, you know the third reason this is good for you is because they're taking out the clean energy law. They're not taking out the money. The money is still in the recon, and that is now available for programs like you. Wow, that is incredible. So now let's go to the next thing that is getting really great news is how to get the recon from 3.5 trillion to $2 trillion. And the way they're doing it is by shortening the duration of how many years the programs run. And this is why you watch me, because since the month of June, I've been the only person to deliver all these exclusives about the durations of the programs and the changing the durations of the programs. Back in July, I started a series of things where I would say, I'm speculating that maybe the programs are. I'm speculating. I didn't know. Now it turns out I actually was right. In July, when Bernie wanted a $7 trillion recon, I speculated that the programs he was looking for were 20-year programs. We now have confirmation they were. Why were they 20 years? Because the president wanted the programs to run several generations. They didn't get that. So Bernie brought the recon down to 3.5 trillion and shortened the duration. We didn't know how short it was. At the time, I said, I think he got 10-year programs. We now have a quote going into this weekend from Jayalapal saying the programs of 3.5 trillion are 10 years. So there you go. So what's next step? Make them less years than 10 years. And now we have Pelosi, Jayalapal, and LALATE with a Vulcan mind melt, all saying, we can get this done by just shortening the duration of the programs. Yes, there we go. It was 2 weeks ago where I said, just shorten the duration of the programs. Keep the programs at full capacity, full check, big checks. Don't remove the checks. Don't water down the checks. Just do this for less years. And that's what they're doing. Let's go over a series of quotes that came in from Pelosi and from Jayalapal. And the first ones are fascinating because Pelosi and Alex Padilla, who's our Democratic senator here in California, replaced Harris, they both say the key battleground is the climate. Great. Finally, we know how to get this done, which was always sort of the problem. No one knew how to get these things done. Now they all know how to get it done. First, Pelosi said, we have some important decisions to make in the next few days. That was on Tuesday. They made the decisions, climate changes, and shortened the recon by shortening the durations of the programs. Then Pelosi said, the key to the reconciliation is the climate part of the bill. There you go. It is, because that's the only thing that's really holding it up at the moment. The 2 trillion can get gotten in just 10 seconds. Alex Padilla saying, no climate, no deal on the recon. Absolutely correct. You need to get the recon done. And then Bob Casey saying, people are asking me, this stuff sounds wonderful. Why have we done more of this? He says, I've been saying that for 40 years. I love Bob Casey. And then comes Jayalapal, who literally says everything what you, and all of us have been saying. We've been saying over the last few weeks, get big checks out, fast checks, get them out fast, and get them out for this year, next year, and the year after that. We don't need to be worrying about 9 years from now or 8 years from now. We need to worry about this year, next year, and the year after that at least. Big, large checks. Don't water them down. Don't do measly small checks. Big checks right now, the year after that, and the year after that, at least to start. And then we'll deal with, stuff after 5 years. That's what Jayalapal said this weekend. She says that we need to reduce the number of years in the programs because the universality, and we will reduce the number of years in the programs because the universality of the benefits, the checks, and the immediacy of the benefits, how fast you get the money, is absolutely critical. There you go. The most important thing is a big check and it comes fast. She then continues and says, and that, frankly, is more important than having the program run for 10 years. There you go. Absolutely wonderful. So, very, very simple. Bring that recon shorter by doing the duration of the programs, let's say 5 years. Selling the recon becomes 1.9 trillion. We get the same big bold checks, 1, 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years of checks. We don't need to worry about 10 years of checks. That's how you get it done. Number 2, modify the language about climate for Joe Manchin and modify the language for prescription medication for Kristen Sinema. And we're done. And we're done. It has never looked this good in a long time, mainly because the president has realized that you need to get people talking. And somehow, somewhere, people got talking, and now everyone's telling each other what they need. And when you tell each other what you need and you express yourself, then everything becomes very clear. And what else is also really clear is those COLA benefits are absolutely a deliciousness. But guess what? That's only the first raise. You got 2 other raises after that. I'm going to go over those details right now. Look at that bird. He's just looking for something. What are you looking for? He's like, yeah, what's out there? I used to always shoot a lot of That's not my footage, but I used to always that's stock footage. But I used to always shoot a lot of bird footage. It's always hysterical. Actually, the opening credits has bird footage. All right, let's go over those color raises. You're going to get a lift of your checks in the next few weeks, 5 to 6%. This is huge, but it's not the first lift. You're going to get 2 lifts after that. What? Yeah, on the fifth stimulus. Let's go over all those details. First, I want to put fourth stimulus aside because it could confuse us at this point. Because you just heard that people on the benefits are getting big checks. Then you heard Bob Casey looking to give you more money. Let's just put that aside because that's a little bit different than what we're talking about right now. We're going to talk about COLA, and then we're going to talk about fifth stimulus after that. Back in July, when I was recording, I said, I think inflation in December is going to go to 5%. And Wall Street said 2%. And I said, hey, if it's 5%, it's great because your benefits will go up 5%, not just next year, but lifetime. Remember how many times I said that? Well, guess what? Because of this, your benefits are going up 5 to 6%, not just next year, lifetime. And not just from this stimulus, now. And that's just the first lift. What? Let's go over all the details. COLA came in red hot because inflation's red hot, and now your benefits are going up in the next few weeks, 5 to 6%, but that's just the first lift. Because if they get fifth stimulus done, you're going to get 2 other lifts after that on top of that. Let's go over all the details. Fifth stimulus raises your benefits up a lifetime, one time on top of this, if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, veterans benefits. That would happen first as soon as it becomes law. Let's say fifth stimulus becomes law in January. You'll get a second lift after this one on top of this lift. Then you're going to get another lift after that. What is it? It's when they remove COLA and replace it with inflation the next time they apply it, which potentially would be next December. That inflation rate is absolutely incredible. That new benefit benchmark will be inflation. Inflation is going to be 2%, 3% at least next year. It ain't going to be 0. But COLA next year could be 0. You could be back to seeing another flat year. No, if inflation's 3%, then you'll get a third lift up. Let's recap. First, your benefits are going to go up one time. Then, under fifth stimulus, they'll raise up again a second time on top of this. And then a third time at the end of the year as they apply the new benchmark of inflation. Those are add-on cumulative lifts, not either or. They're all on top of each other. Then they're going to remove under fifth stimulus the asset cap dating back to a 1980s law that says you can't have more than $3,000 on hand, the asset cap. It's going to go away, and now you'll be able to have some Cardinals red on your shirt. Thank you, Sherry, for the nice comment during the commercial break about the red. Today, the lighting's good, so the red looks better. They're going to remove the income cap dating back to a 1960s law that says you can't work and stay on benefits. It's going to go away. Now you'll be able to work and still stay on benefits. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to go away. And love is going to win, and you'll be able to do a pair dance and no longer fear loss of benefits. Viewers like Rob and Sandy will be able to get married and have their marriage and not fear loss of benefits. And that is fifth stimulus. Now, one of the surprises that no one saw coming is the big details of that incredible third stimulus money. What? One viewer has now seen a wonderful turnaround of events. It was a week ago, not this week, but the week before that. Prina, you met on this channel. She started the week at 0. She ended the week at $6,000 because of my recordings. What did she do? She just listened. I told her that an additional $13 billion is going out from Treasury to state and local for rent and to pounce and get it. And to listen to the newsletter, read the newsletter, and read the link from Treasury in the newsletter. And boy, did she. She writes, thank you, LA, so much. After you mentioned the extra $13 billion for the state, I immediately pounced, and I got it from the city of Austin. I got rent from November through January, another $6,000 for 8 months. Thank you so much. But guess what? Because this last week, someone got $36,000 for this channel. Started the week at 0, ended the week at $36,000. Who is it? It's Mark 51,000. Yeah, the guy that got $51,000 before from this channel, he got another $36,000. So get that pen, paper, cell phone ready. I'm going to show you how to get some rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, some food, clothing, appliances, home repairs, holiday gifts, and more. And it starts right now. We're going to start with the rent. I'm going to show you 6 places to reach out to. Reach out to all 6. They have different eligibility. They have different pots of money. Next, I'm going to show you how to get, listen to the keywords I say in this video. And number 3, get ready for those nonprofits. All right, here are the 6 places to reach out to for the rent. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, and State House Authority. And the keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID. Mortgage utility assistance because of COVID. And how much in rent can you get? Here you see it. Wow. This was a month ago. Nisi at $20,000 all the way up to Elizabeth, $27,000. They're all Purple Hawks, all members. But guess what? You see it there. There's Mark. He went from $25,000 to another $36,000. Yes, I have a lot of viewers who have gotten 4 rounds of rent from this channel. If you've gotten money from this channel before, get more money because there's more money available, more rounds of these items. And viewers are now getting on average $40,000 for rent. When we turn to utilities, wow, the numbers have gone up so much. The numbers on utilities were this, and now Mark's brother-in-law getting $15,000 for rent for utilities. Reach out to 5 utility companies if you got like all 5. Then SNAP. SNAP is money for food. You get it from the Department of Agriculture. Everyone's SNAP benefits are going up an average of 25% a lifetime. I've been seeing some of your comments in the live chat today. Boy, I'm so excited for you. A lot of people saying they're going from like $60 to $250 a month. Real big changes. I'm very, very excited for you. Again, it's an average of 25%. A lot of you could be going up a lot more. Mark's brother-in-law is going to $26,000 a year. Next, get multiple sums of money. Here's the combo people. $32,000 for Nancy and Mark and Nisi, $23,000. Here's Mark. Here's Lorraine. She's going to $110,000. Get multiple sums. And then get that pen paper ready. We're going to go over the nonprofits now. The 5 nonprofits. The thing you need to know is that every city, county, and state has money for you for rent. Everywhere. Red, blue, purple state. I don't care what you're being told by the ventriloquist. If your sisters, brothers, uncles, nephews, cow grazer, yoga instructor, llama, lawnmower, gardener, ventriloquist says to you, there's no money in the state, tell the ventriloquist to keep their mouth shut. Aren't they supposed to keep their mouth shut? I thought the ventriloquists are always supposed to keep their mouth shut. Or maybe that's, I don't know. But tell them, read my lips. There is money in the state. There is absolutely money in the state. Now, if you found the money and you're not eligible for the money, then that's a different situation. And you know what that situation is? The nonprofits. The nonprofits have money for everyone, especially for people who have eligibility problems. And here are those 5 nonprofits that pay for the same items on the third stimulus with different eligibility. Your United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, Catholic Charities, and St. Vincent de Paul. Next, the important thing to understand is that nonprofits pay for a lot of items that the federal government doesn't pay for. And those items are generally focused on the concept of, in the summer, they don't want you to burn up alive. In the winter, they don't want you to freeze to death. So they want you to be comfortable where you are. So they have money for homeless people to get into shelters, or they put homeless people in shelter. They have food for meals if you need a warm meal. They have clothing if you can't afford clothing. And then they often get refrigerators for viewers, furnaces, portable heaters, blankets. Absolutely wonderful. When we talk about the holiday gifts, I had told viewers since September, reach out to Salvation Army right away. I told you in September because I think that they run out very quickly. Some places Salvation Army has run out already now in October. Every place is different, so just keep on trying. One viewer said her town ran out of Salvation Army, but they have holiday meals, which is totally different than holiday gifts. So great stuff across the board. Here again are the 5 nonprofits. United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, Catholic Charities, and St. Vincent de Paul. Next, the unemployment benefits. First, from your state. If you were overpaid unemployment benefits due to computer error, it's coming back. Average payment is $2,000 to $5,000. Reach out to your state. Then the refund check from the IRS for the 2020 taxes you paid unemployment benefits on. Don't you love when I mess that up? The taxes you paid unemployment benefits on. How does that work? The unemployment benefits you pay taxes on. I just love every time I mess that up. It doesn't make any sense. How do you pay unemployment benefits on taxes? Yeah, the taxes you paid unemployment benefits on, those are coming back. Average payment is $1,200 to $2,000. Margaret got it, Con got it, Michael got it. If you got any sums of money, post in the live chat because you inspire other people. Finally, if you haven't become a member, what are you doing? Members have that emoji of the purple hawk behind their name. The membership link's under the video. Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I deliver the newsletter to viewers. The newsletter features all the big money on the first, second, and third stimulus. It's written by me. It's delivered from the YouTube alert system for members and the LALATE alert system, which is totally free to sign up for. It's in the description of this video. It's at news.lalate.com/alerts. We now also have 2 new volunteers who help just with newsletter and membership links if you can't figure out where these things are located. It's important to become a member. Why? Because there's big sums of money available for you. When we look at forced stimulus, and I tell you there's about $15,000 you can get from forced stimulus, that may be undervaluing it. As soon as it becomes law, I'm going to show you how to get all these big items under forced stimulus. When third stimulus became law early this year, some people were just focused on a $14 stimulus check. I said, I can get the average viewer of this channel about $15,000. To date, the average viewer has gotten about $40,000 from third stimulus. And the great news is they're still getting it now in October. Can you imagine? Can you imagine my viewers are getting $36,000 this week, $6,000 a week before? Viewers are still getting those big sums of money. So become a member, get that newsletter, and learn about all these sums of money. Get additional rounds of all these monies if you've gotten money before from this channel. Get more rounds of this money as well. We got a big day of shows coming up. We'll have more about these double mansion deals, the reducing of the 3.5 into the $2 trillion RECON price tag deal as well, and how this is moving very quickly. It's great news because finally they're vocalizing saying, this is what I want, this is what I want to do a deal. And when you say it, then it's easy to understand it. We got a show of Afternoons LA coming up right after this show, so stay here. It'll automatically take you there to the afternoon's 1 o'clock show. Then that show will automatically take you to the 3 o'clock afternoon show, totally new. And then the big Evenings LA, totally new tonight at 5 o'clock. Don't want to miss that. Then we have Evenings Countdown at 6 o'clock, our new hit show. And we have Street and Stimulus at 7, Sirloin at 8, and then the overnights LA starts at 9, 10, 11:30, 3 a.m. and 3:30. So I want you part of this channel, and don't miss a single video. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. The link's under the video to get that incredible newsletter and learn about all the money you can get from this RECON. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful day. I'll see you next on Afternoons LALATE.